All right. So, wasn't even close to ready. They didn't even know that they had the catering order. Fantastic. So, going to be late to the customer. They got to start firing the order. Going to be 30 minutes. Whatever. We got time to talk, I suppose. Um, I got in trouble with T-Mobile. So, well, not in trouble. Uploading all these videos on the go from my phone. It didn't like that. It was like, hey man, you've hit, over 50 gigabytes this month and you might be slowed down based on availability in your area. So, not cool. Not cool. I pay for that unlimited data. But whatever, trying to upload them at home. But then it's going to be later in the day. Anyway, talk to my buddy JH that we spoke about yesterday at the end of the video. And he's in good spirits. He's out of the hospital, out of the ICU, and in physical therapy. Couldn't walk out of nowhere. Now relearning to walk, which sounds horrible. How do you just like I know how. It's a tumor on the brain in the front too, but so they got him pumped up on steroids because I'm like, how do you not treat and then be expected to make progress? So treatment, steroids, progress, and then they're going to do, radiation for him. So he's confident he's going to make it out the other side. He's beaten a number of things. He's a strong dude, and he says, you can't kill me. So I told him, I was calling to tell him, like, hey, brother, like, leave some testimony for the rest of us. But now going to add brain cancer to the list of things he's beaten. So, once he's recovered from that, I told him I owe him a flannel shirt and some canvas sneakers maybe so he can start his youth pastor journey. So, but I digress. I was talking to him, trying to enter the conversation on the phone because I had a larger order of groceries I had to deliver. And the lady saw me kind of parked on the street and came out and waved at me and was like, oh, you can come around in my driveway. Well, I didn't realize it was her driveway because of the way the fence was. It was a corner lot on two highways kind of deal, country. And so, okay, sorry about that, ma'am. Pull around, still talking to him and trying to get off the phone and then ultimately make the delivery with her. She's trying to help me carry him, so I marked the delivery as complete and I apologized because I had gotten off the phone and I say, sorry, I was talking to my friend. He just suddenly found out he had brain cancer. So, my mom talks about, people say empaths, right? But my mom talks about having our signs on. And I think it's just, people know when your posture and psychological posture is that you are willing to actually listen to them. You are actually listening to what they have to say. And I was just telling her, like, sorry, talking to a friend, couldn't just cut him off, trying to end the conversation, but he just had a brain tumor, trying to wish him well. And she just opened up her heart to me and was telling me about, like, it's the season for it. And, her mom broke her hip, when it was like 92 pounds because she lost so much weight, and her journey in recovery and all the different ins and out of the hospital trips and stuff, and was just telling me about it. But at some point, and we were just sharing back and forth, and I was just sharing as a believer, and it sounded like she was a believer too, which she was. But she ended up, I must have gestured as I often do, and saw my arm. Okay. So, for nobody's going to be able to see that. Maybe if you can see it and recognize it, it says Yahweh Ra'ah, or I don't even know. She, as a Jew, they don't say the name of God in the way that I did. That's not for us to say. So they say Adonai when they see that word. So perhaps that's how I should edit my speech. Perhaps not. But it's an old spelling. Ra'ah shows up in the Old Testament a lot, but it's a double aleph, and like that's a no-no, in modern Hebrew. So she read it, but she read it as like a sentence or two of Hebrew. And I was just like, oh, that's awesome that you can read that, and you know what that is. And said something like, I'm surprised you're not chasing me off your property. And she was just like, why would I do that? She's like, I have a menorah in my house. That's my practice. I was like, no, 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 you misunderstand. I said, I've been hassled multiple places. I've been asked by, for instance, a rabbi, like, how do I go to the bathroom? Because the name of the God is not supposed to be in the house of the seat, where you go poop. And it's like, I told her, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm a Christian boy. Like, I only know so much about Judaism. I did know that about this when I put that on my arm, not about the bathroom, but about saying it versus not saying it, and not supposed to be really writing it, things like that. Plus the taboo of tattoos, like verses that say don't tattoo, and then the Holocaust tattoos and people living through that. It's a little hot button. But I've also had people reach over in restaurants and tell me, like, I can read that, that's awesome. Or in airports, that's always a mixed bag, especially meeting like a real native Israeli, that's passing through or something. Some of them get really inflamed and angry, and some of them just think it's fantastic. So it's a mixed bag for me. I knew when I got it years ago it was going to be a lightning rod. It's kind of a testimonial. I mean, it is, but it was more. If you have tattoos, you know how this goes. Um, but we kept talking. We just kept talking, and she was asking me. I was telling her I'm trying to raise 3 boys. We stood there, and neighbor lit a fire. So like we had this blazing. Um, I can't think of the grass. Pampas grass fire, just going ham with canes in the back and stuff. So then we realized there was a person out there. So we kept talking and talking about me raising my 3 little boys. And my joke is I'm raising John Connors for the world that's to come. And, she encouraged me to, she was saying, don't leave out the Ketuk, the Old Testament. I was like, oh, no, I don't. It's a pivotal part of, kind of our schooling and what we're learning. Now I cannot think of it. And I have a friend that I'm hoping to interview, who's a converted to Judaism, and I've got questions for her, and I think she's got questions for me. So I look forward to having a productive conversation, because, like I was trying to tell that lady, which her name was Sotai, and I want to look that up because she said that was also with a Ketub. But there were specifically 3 things that men are supposed to do. Excuse me. Now I'm failing on what? Excuse me. The word is failing me. But it was 3 things you're supposed to do, and if you can't make it to the Holy Land, you're supposed to do these other things daily. So I'm interested. I realize like it'll be a Jewish practice, but at the same time, like I follow a Jewish guy. You know what I'm saying? Like they call Jesus Rabbi. He was more learned than all the people in the temple. So we may have accepted that we may have had the Messiah come and accepted a new covenant with him, but it doesn't mean that all of that. I mean, we're studying Proverbs every day. This is still valid stuff. So I want to definitely reach out. I don't know who watches these. I want to reach out to any Jewish brothers and sisters that are watching this and just say, like, hey, there's productive conversation to be had. There's stuff that I want to learn that you have to teach me. And, I don't know if you got stuff that you want to learn or want me to answer questions or rebound thoughts off of. I would love that. So it was a nice encouragement. Like I said, it was a divine appointment. And I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. I had another point I wanted to make in this video besides her and what we discussed. I don't know. It's gone now. But that's what I want to say. Let's have some cross religion productive discussions and see where they lead.